Hi, how are you today? This is JilliBling. Slimline seems to be my middle name lately. I love these cards. So I did one, or actually two of them, just a few days ago using the other die in the die package. And this is the one with the geometric shape. And I didn't use it. And I liked it, but I just didn't use it. And then I really didn't know what to do with it. So it just kind of sat there, but every time I come into my room, I didn't finish this one. I really like this die. And again, didn't know what to do with it. So I copied pretty much what was in the catalog. Well, a little bit of a change. And I did that today. And I knew Tony was coming home, so I started putting together another one. So it's the same but different. Didn't finish the inside, but that's okay. The envelope, I did that about a week ago, and I have a template on how to make this slimline envelope that fits right in, but we'll be decorating it just a bit today. Not closing too good. Oh, there it goes. So let's get started. Oh, here's the catalog. This one that they're doing is nice too, but I wanted to make this one really masculine, so I put it on navy paper. But this looks really good too, but that's where the idea came from. And I was trying to find this die cut. That's using that punch. There's a punch that does that, but I didn't want to pull it out. So ours is just rectangular with angles. We'll be using Slim Sayings. That's where the happy birthday is. And this time I like to use the one of a kind. And then also happy thoughts for a little bit for the inside. Happy birthday, just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. That's nice. Okay. So here are my papers. We'll use those stamps. Here's the die. This is for the words. And you know, at first I put the words, I've got it right here, on seafoam paper. And when I cut them out, do I have them here? I had it all ready to go. It gets lost. Oh, I put it on here. So that might have been better in white. But white or seafoam, it's all good. So let's start with what's on top here and just stamp the words. So these, you are one of a kind. I'm going to put it in navy. And today I'm using Soft Seafoam, Night of Navy, Balmy Blue, and Smoky Slate. Night of Navy on basic white cardstock. And I'm going to cut it out so I'm not worried about getting it straight. Try it one more time. I just re-inked this pad. That's better. Okay, and I'll cut these out in just a few minutes. I'm going to do it like we did the other card. This one here, so it's just cut into pieces. And you can see the tutorial for this card about a week ago. Okay, so set those off to the side. That's inside. Let's get started on the die. So I have two different sizes of white paper. On my blog, which is JilliBling.com, I'll list all the paper cut sizes. So see how these are just a little bit different in size? The smaller one is for the inside of the card. It perfectly fits. This bigger one, we're going to do a little bit of blending brush on it to apply color, and then we'll cut it out using this die. So let's get started on the blending brushes. You're like, wait, what are you talking about? See how this starts? It's Soft Seafoam, Balmy Blue, and then Smoky Slate. Let's do that part. Okay, so how about Balmy Blue? I'm trying to make it a little bit different than this one. Balmy Blue. And I just re-inked these, so they're a little bit dark too. So to get your blending brush really smooth, start off the paper and go onto the paper. And sometimes that really matters. The less ink that's on your blending brush, the softer the color will be. So if I start creeping up in here, it's just a soft, gradual movement. So if you're new to blending brushes, this is a great project to do blending brushes on, because one of these, this one right here, I had just re-inked, and you could see all the streaks of color in the smoky slate and the balmy blue. But on this card, it doesn't matter. It's fine if it's streaky. So that's why it's a good practice for using your blending brushes. And then let's go to soft seafoam. And I'm going to focus on getting the ink in the middle first, and then have it kind of drift into the balmy blue over here so that they're blended. This is like multicolor ombre. And how dark do you want it? It would be fine just like that. You just want it to be just a little bit different than the other colors. Let me see if one, see how this is really light, and that turned out great. Down here it's darker. Is that better? I don't know. It's a little bit lighter. Okay, and now for smoky slate. And I have my re-inkers on hand just because it seems that I need to do a lot of re-inking. Look at that, that's kind of cool. Okay, smoky slate. Let me see how this one is. Ooh, that's dark. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the paper and then go onto the paper. Just because if I went straight onto the paper with the recently loaded up blending brush, the result would be that right there, right on here. Not good. Oh, I'm getting a cramp. That doesn't happen often. Okay, so I'm going to start over here, then go on there. And normally I would fret because I have these blobs, but with this card it doesn't matter. And the blending brush, you can just hold it and go around softly, which works just fine, or you can put a little pressure on it. Does that work better? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But the head is flexible. Okay, so that's it now. We'll be doing a little bit more with the blending brushes in just a minute. Okay, so now this piece here, I am going to die cut. So with my die, and I don't know if it's going to happen with yours, I'd suggest taking washi tape, laying it over the top and attaching it and running it through one way and back through another way. Because 2 out of 3 times when using this die, it didn't cut all the way through, so I was having to take my scissors and cut it. For example, this piece down here is kind of lodged in there, and all these other little pieces just down here along this bottom edge, they were not coming out. So I just left it in there because there's these other pieces I inserted in there, so it's fine. But I'd suggest going at least a few times through and then back through. This project, I did run it through. It didn't cut well, so I tried to run just that one end through again, and I kind of got a double cut, which I really don't like, which is why I put the words here. And I tried to glue all these little pieces in place. And if I didn't say anything, you probably would not have noticed, but just an FYI, it's really worth it to run it through a few times. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna get all those little pieces because we'll use maybe half of them. So I'm hoping that this one came out okay. That piece is garbage. These long strips are garbage. Or you might figure out something to do with them. This one is hanging on, just like I was hoping it wouldn't. How about this one over here? That one came out good. So this one I ran through twice. But if that's the only problem, is just this little bit right here, that's okay. And if you have any pieces that are hanging in there and everything else is behaving, like this one might be, just leave it in there. That's okay. Well, you know, I might just leave all these in here like I planned it. Okay, maybe I'll cut out this one. Okay, that's good. So these long strips in the little frame goes away. These pieces, we'll be using them, and it's nice if they're turned over. You'll see why here in just a minute. Two more. Okay, so we'll use those. Okay, so for this piece, let's fold the base paper in half. And I do have a few tricks for sticking this down, which we'll do in just a minute. That's going to be for the inside. But before I stick it down, I want to do a little bit of stencil work using blending brushes, pretending like this is a stencil. So at the bottom of this, see how there's just hints of that same pattern? And also on the envelope, just to bring it all together. So I'd like to do a little bit of that. So let's work on the inside. So for the inside, this one goes this way. How about this one going this way? So at the bottom, I'll do just a little stenciling. So that's the seafoam. So over here, holding on to all these pieces because they're connected long way, I'm going to just apply a little bit of the seafoam ink. I don't know if I even have enough on there. There's just a little bit going on there. You know what, I'm not sure. And if you do it and you don't get it lined up, it makes it look a little blurry, and that's not good. So I'm gonna just shift it over. Okay, that's good. And then, oh, the envelope, will do that in a minute. Then how about a little bit of balmy blue. And I know that I'm applying a little bit of color to this, this fine die cut piece. So I'm going to try to keep the balmy blue where I have the balmy blue ink originally. See how much is on there. Plenty of ink on the blue. Just like that. Just a little hint of color. That looks good. So let's do the same on the envelope. So this will go into here. That will go in there. So the envelope. And in the description, I'll link to the video I do making this envelope. And I'll also on my blog, I'll put pictures of this template. So before I stick it together, this is a good time to do the a little bit of template. So how about some blue right here? And I'm going to concentrate on just getting it on the flap. And I know that there's plenty of blue ink on this blending brush. That looks really good. Maybe I'll do all blue. And I'm not trying to line up this blue with that blue because I know it's probably impossible. Maybe just a little bit of green. Okay, and then some on the front. I haven't done gray yet. Do a little bit of gray right here. This could be a whole thing itself, just this, using a template from a die cut. Good enough. And there's a lot of blue on the flap, so how about more green? Didn't show up very much. I need more green ink. You can see a little bit of the pattern right there. That's good. It's just supposed to be a subtle little bit of color. Okay, so to make the envelope, I need tear tape, and that's going to go here at the bottom. Tear and tape. And a little bit at the top, but I'm not going to open up the paper on that one. Then I always forget, because one way, this way, the seam is right in the middle. If I did it that way, it's off to the side. Not that that's terrible, but There's one way it's in the middle. That's nice. Okay, so these pieces first. And then the bottom flap. This I'm going to leave for the person who is going to give the card to open it. Little pattern. Little pattern. Okay, so to finish the card, that's inside. Okay, let's get to working on this template. So like I said, I do have a little trick to attaching it. After trying to attach a few of them, and it was a struggle, I have a plan. Take your liquid glue, right on these little medallions, right in the middle, put a drop of glue. Just on at least 3 of them, probably not more than 5 of them. And I'm going to hold it right here on any one of these strips of medallions and get it lined up. And I'm purposely holding those 2 strips because, or these 2 places, because that strip holds it all together. Where normally I hold the paper at diagonal corners, but this thing almost stretches like an accordion. There'd be no way to get it lined up. And then we all like glue because you could still position things. So I'm looking at how much is here, how much is here. Okay, so just let that dry and just take hold because that's right in the middle. So let's work on your one of a kind. And I know when I do this, you're going to say, I can't cut straight like that, but you're cutting right along block letters and you're cutting just the same amount away from each of them at the bottom. You could do that. If you give it a try, you could do it. Oh, the thing is I stamped on the back side. When I pick them up, do I know which side to do? Do the same for the top. And then we'll do the same for the right and left side. Okay, obviously that part's done. Done. Kind. Let's do the top. One of a kind. That's little, that's bigger. And you know, even if I left it like that, it would be just fine. You are one of a. So the kids went to visit Emma, and Tonia's being a chicken farmer. They have chickens, and he goes out there every day. He lets the chickens, what do? Let them run around in the coop or out? He lets them run around outside. You are It's nice the way the white paper stands up against the navy. So if this is a guy card, it's really hard not to put more stuff on it. Okay, so you're one of a kind. Let's work on finishing the top part first. So we have just those few areas attached, stuck down. So now, taking your liquid glue and everything that isn't attached, I'm going to just put a little drop of glue and I'm trying to work kind of all in a line a little bit rhythmically, just so I don't miss an area. And it's okay if it isn't 100% attached. Okay, so those are straight. Now this edge piece, as I stick it down with the glue on it, I'm trying to keep this same edge border. Okay, so that side is done and this part is done. Let's flip it over and work over here. Definitely the corners. Okay, so I'm going to work on these bands because those won't stray. It's just these edge pieces, they could get a little crazy. Then it makes your whole card look crooked if your borders aren't straight. Okay, that's looking good. So I'll let it dry for just a little bit and I might come back and find that one little part has popped up, which is okay. Like I see all these popping up and that's just fine. Okay, so let's work on the inside. We'll let that dry and then we'll come back and check it. So you are one of a kind. So on the inside, oh, I wanted to do these words, but they won't fit. That will fit. Thinking of you is nice. Oh, you are one of a kind. So how about thinking of you is good. Okay, it's going to be a repeat, but it looks really good. Those are nice words though. Repeat. Just because it's so good, it's going to go to different people. And it's a little bit crooked. Let me see if I need to straighten that out. It's crooked. Okay, so I'm going to try to straighten it out. And what I'm going to do is with my paper cutter, I'm going to have the tip of the blade right here, and then I'm going to have it cut in about 1/8 of an inch and do that all the way around, and it should straighten it out. My mini paper cutter isn't that big. Well, that made it really small. other piece of paper ready. I don't like that. Oh, I already took the template away. Okay, we're going to stick with it. The template is already on the front of the card. Good thing I did that pattern random. Well, it's straight now. Okay, so that's the inside. So for the outside, let's start with putting some of these pieces in. So to do that, I'm going to take dimensionals. And you know, on one of these, I put quite a few of the pieces in. This one, like in the catalog, I didn't do as many. So how about medium? I don't know. And they should just be random, not all in a row. And some little corner edge side half pieces too. Those could use mini. These little edge round pieces, that has to be a half a mini dimensional. Tiny. And you can always add more after you get these in, and you can put the words right over the top of them. Okay, picker-upper tool, very handy here. So now this is a part like a puzzle. Remember how I said that these should be flipped over? Now you know why, because we really don't want to put a blue into the green. It makes it a little confused. So that one has some green on it. Okay, and a bright green, and a gray that has green on it. Well, this one looks like it has green maybe here. Okay, maybe a different one. Here's blue-green. So here's a gray with green. Here's this gray. And then we need little half ones. And a blue one. Green. What is that one? Green. Okay, so that piece could be this one. and then a blue half piece. Okay, we might be adding more, but that's a good start. So the words, where should they go? And I don't want them right in row because we know I didn't cut it perfect. It's not perfect. I'm going to put that on here to weight it down. Okay, so for placement, so how about just like that? Okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals where the words go, but I'm still going to get linen thread on here. But at least this will let me know where the words are going to go. And this will also help pull down that little template. The die cut piece. And a mini one, because it's going to be half up on this piece. Okay, so that's where the words are going to go. So for the linen thread, to do, see how there's just a swoosh of it, of the linen thread right here and here. It's just one of those little details that makes it look a little more manly, a little more detail. So what I do is I'm going to do 2 loops. That's my weight. And then get these ends together. Then when it's in a loop, just do a crisscross like a figure 8, just to get it there on your dimensionals. And at this point, now that it's down, you can adjust it however you'd like. And you could completely pull it up a little bit at a time to have the whole thing come up if you want. But see how those 2 loops are there? I like that. This one, put it over on this side a little bit. Okay, that looks good. But now that I've done that, I've kind of used my dimensional stickiness. So this one, I'll put just a little bit of glue and have it set in there to hold it in place. That dimensional is still good, but I know I need glue here to put the word U on it. And then this half will stick by the dimensional. And it's supposed to be really random, so however you have it is just fine. And see how I have the little end sticking out there? That's just fine too. On one of them I purposely, this one no end showing. This one the ends are purposely showing. Just whatever you like is fine. You know what, that keeps popping up, so I'm going to get just a little mini dimensional and tuck it underneath there. Okay, you are, that dimensional, it isn't even touched by the linen thread. So that one is ready. Are one of, that one, I need little dimensionals or glue. I think little ones. And I'll just put some liquid glue on here. Maybe it will hold it. Oh, that's working. You are Ava. No. Lori, I bet you knew that. You are 1. Okay, hold on, Ava. You are 1. Okay, here we go with Ava. This is in the wrong spot now. So it's just a combination of liquid glue and dimensionals to hold all those little words in place. You are 1 of a kind. Okay, there it is. And I'll watch it just to make sure everything is laying down. If not, I'll put a little bit more glue in spots. Okay, that's it, the whole thing. See how it goes into the envelope? Look at that. Fancy. All these pieces, you could put more on if you want. Okay, just one more, and then that will be it. Just a little bit more. This one will have lots. I like the green. How about right there? Just because they're over here and they're looking really, really nice. It's hard to throw all that away. You could put it on the inside. I'm looking at which one is most blue. Okay, so now that's really it. It's really done now. Okay, thank you for tuning in, and give me a thumbs up if I've inspired you. And I look forward to chatting with you next time. Thanks. Bye.